Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. It is time for the Expert Series, and boy, do I have an amazing guest for you. This week, I am joined by my amazing friend and book sister, Judith Quin. And Judith Quin is a vocal confidence specialist, and her work is just magic. Judith, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
So one of the ways that I introduced this week's session is as a way to tackle that chronic stress and low confidence that some of the members have shared with me. But first, let's dive into what does a vocal confidence specialist do?
I help people to find their true voice, because obviously everyone has a voice, so most people can speak. So, but to find their true voice so that people can speak with confidence, with clarity, and with the courage of their convictions. And this is the important bit, no matter the situation. Ooh. So you feel free to share your voice, to say yes, to say no, to talk about the stuff you do that you think other people might not get or understand, to really stand in who you are, what you believe, and be able to express that in a place or from a place where you don't need everyone to agree with you. You're not looking for other people's approval, and you know that you are sharing from a place where if other people disagree with you, that's okay, because you're speaking to the people who it resonates with. And when you can do that, when you truly can liberate your voice, whether it's personal or professional, then that really is the key for liberating, unlocking, freeing your life, because you suddenly can start doing the things that are important to you. And it doesn't mean you have to become selfish. If that suddenly people are going, oh no, but what about other people's feelings? It's about operating truthfully as you. And when we do that, we liberate others. And particularly for perpetual people pleasers. So if there's anyone in the group that resonates with, well, I know I'm a little bit of a people pleaser, but it's amazing that the feedback I get from my clients is, oh my goodness, when I stand up and say, this is what I want, the number of times that has had a knock-on effect from the people who they've been trying to please going, oh, great, excellent. Because they suddenly feel liberated from having to look after you or having to, go, oh, worry about what they might think. So when you free your voice, you don't just liberate your life, but you can actually liberate others as well from expectation, from obligation, all sorts of wonderful, marvelous things.
Yeah, I know. And I can imagine someone that is watching this right now thinking, but are you talking about people that don't speak up, whether they're in a one-to-one situation or in a group situation? Or are we talking about you do speak up, but you speak up not with clarity, conviction, and confidence so that other people don't understand you? Or is it both?
Both.
How come I knew you were going to say that?
Well, no, I literally did an interview yesterday with a woman who, she did a 2-day intensive with me. And if I don't think that you know Vic, but Vic she's a larger than life woman. She's out there. She comes across to everyone who knows her as really confident. She's loud. She's a big personality. And she came and did a 2-day intensive with me because as much as, yes, she's a big personality and she's out there and she has a voice and she uses it, she knew there was something missing. And particularly for her, it was when she was stepping into her business and into a new side of something. There was that part of her that was, well, yeah, there is this, and you can be saying it to so much. And I completely resonate with this because this is what I did. I'd speak a little bit about what I do, particularly the more holistic spiritual side of my business, but I wouldn't really fully talk about it unless I really knew that the audience were open to it. And she had a similar challenge, and it was about really trying to find and hone her truth. So with people like that, with people who are out there and speaking, but not really getting the results they want, or finding that they're sort of getting connection with people, but not on the level they expect, it's normally because there's another level of truth. So for those people, I help them go that much deeper and that much fuller. And then for the people who are maybe more introverted or possibly shyer or naturally quieter, for them it tends to be more about the first steps to owning space, to being able to share your idea in a team meeting if you work for someone, or being able to share a question at a workshop or conference, or if you're self-employed running your own business, speaking positively about what you do, saying I am good at this, rather than going, well, it would be really lovely to have you as a client and I'd love to work with you, but obviously there's lots of other choices. It's like, no, actually, you can still be you, but saying, I would love to work with you because I know that we will get results. There's a difference between that. And so both. And I work in companies as well and helping people there. It's about having challenging conversations. So for individuals who maybe avoid having challenging conversations because you're afraid you might upset someone or hurt someone or offend someone, or maybe you are afraid of how other people will react and you don't want to create conflict. There's a way of approaching a conversation like that means you can still express what you need to say and hold space for the other person without the fear of them exploding. So all of that, it's full, true self-expression with confidence, with clarity, and with truth to who you are.
Yeah, what I love about your work is that it is a life skill. I mean, we use our voice, whether it is at home, on the phone, or on Zoom, and especially in the community of purpose-driven entrepreneurs that we are connected to. You have to speak up, and how you do that will determine whether or not you're going to gain the results. But it's broader than that. It will impact your life because it is not a business skill. Most people think public speaking is a typical business skill, but everyone uses their voice every day, all day long. So you want to make sure that the moments that you do, it is your true voice and your truth, so that people can understand what your boundaries are, but also what you want to convey to them. So I love that about your work.
And it's that, I mean, and especially when you're an entrepreneur, you speak about your business all the time, right? Anyone who's listening live right now, give us some kind of emoji to get, if you know that your friends and family, when they ask how you are, you respond with how your business is going, right? Because I'll put my hand up to that. And I was in a shoe shop once, and I couldn't make up my mind between 3 different pairs of shoes, and the shop assistant was saying to me, so why don't you just get all 3? And I said, well, when my business is going better, I will get all 3, because they weren't outrageous, they weren't Louboutins or anything, but they weren't cheap shoes. And so she said, oh, so what do you do? And I started talking about what I do. I help people speak with confidence, da 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 da. And another woman who was shopping behind me turned around and went, I'm really sorry to interrupt, but have you got a card? Because I've got a friend who takes medication before team meetings because she gets so nervous, and I'm starting to get that way as well. And so you never know. Like, if you're always talking specifically about your business with that complete confidence and truth and sense of belief in who you are, what you do, who it helps, how it helps, that resonance comes through. And so it doesn't have, like you say, it's not just on stage. It's not just when Loubna invites you to come and talk about what you share in here. It's everyday life.
Yeah, and I love it because yesterday I was on a call with other entrepreneurs and we were asked to introduce ourselves, and it was share your name, share your business and what your business is about, and where in the world you are tuning in from. And I have those 2 to 3 sentences, and I've been practicing them for a very long time so that it become parts of my system in a way that when I do use them, people go, okay, that sounds really compelling. or not. It is a great filter mechanism. I'm either for you or I'm not. And yesterday, and this was a Zoom call, so it was virtual, I used those symptoms, and within about 10 seconds, one of the entrepreneurs chatted, look, now that was really clear. Today, she reached out to me, said, can we have a one-to-one? And I'm like, yeah, sure, we can. So it impacts. And I was in a setting where it wasn't pitchy. It wasn't, I'm pitching myself to get clients or in any way, shape, or form. It wasn't even a networking meeting. But that's the impact of you being able to articulate with clarity and confidence who you are, what you do, and why you do it.
And if you're a coach, without sounding wanky, please. Yeah. No, like especially if there's any new coaches in there, because I know we all, like, again, I did it, right? Please, please, please avoid the phrase like the plague to take you from where you are now to where you want to be. Like, no one resonates with that. And I mean, in the outside world, but even my friends in the outside world, we talk about it sometimes and they go, oh my God, coaches, they use the same phrases all the time. So it really is finding your uniqueness and owning that and being clear with that and connected to your passion. And there's someone who I worked with once, and she has a brilliant way of putting this, particularly in those situations that you were just talking about, Loubna.
Yeah.
And it's saying it with lightness. So saying it to a volume of 2 on the intensity scale.
Yeah.
So that it's, I'm a vocal confidence and communication specialist, voice vibration sound healer, and I work with people to help them free their voices so they can liberate their lives and do better in their business, or depending on the audience you're talking to.
Yeah.
Like
yeah,
that.
It's with the volume of in passing, as in it's not heavy or, oh God, I'm asked to pitch right now. It's like you're flaring through it and going, whoa.
Yeah.
Something like that.
And with the confidence.
Yeah.
But without the push. Without confidence doesn't mean loud, it doesn't mean forceful. It just means that when you say it in your voice, because that's really important, not trying to emulate anyone else, that when you say it, someone goes, oh, and what they're resonating with is actually your resonance of truth, that it's coming from you and that you are confident in your work.
Yeah. I can imagine someone that is watching this right now thinking, but how do I know I am speaking from my true voice? How do I know that? Having spoken the way that I've spoken since I was born this way.
Yeah. So most people, particularly in situations that they find challenging, your voice will change, because tension, this, when you get tense, your muscles tighten. Well, your vocal folds are also muscles. So if you're in a tense situation, they'll tighten. And what that tends to do is make the voice jump. So you're maybe talking a bit more like this, or you might suddenly find yourself like really talking like quite a lot higher or quite a lot faster, or anything. So if you're feeling any tension, then it's quite likely that those emotions are going to be overlaying your voice. And this is the trick. We've only got 20 odd minutes here, so it's when you're speaking disconnected from any fear that you're much more likely to be speaking from your truth. When you're connected to, when very important, know the deepest truth for your business. So my deepest truth is, when you liberate your voice, you liberate your life. Like, full stop, end of story. You could argue that with me till the cows come home, and I'll say, if you don't want to believe me, that's fine, but I know it's true.
Yeah.
Like, boom. It has a weight. It's that thing that keeps you solid and grounded. Like, don't know if you remember Weebles from the 80s, was it? It was like these toys. It was like Weebles wobble, but they don't fall down.
Typically UK, I believe.
Maybe, or American, I don't know. But anyway, there were these little toys. They were kind of oval shaped, but they were weighted at the bottom. And so they could wobble, but they would never fall down. They'd always get back up again. And when you have your deepest truth, that helps you stay grounded. You might wobble. Someone might ask you a question that you don't know the answer to, or someone might question you. Really, voice vibrations, sound healing, Judith, what the expletive is that? And I will be able to come back to, it's something that helps you liberate your voice, because it helps you release the emotions that you're holding on to, so that you can get rid of the rubbish, the beliefs, the fears that mask your truth.
Yeah. So sorry, go ahead.
No, so you know that you're speaking from your truth when you feel like nothing's going to be able to blow you over.
Okay, cool. So one of the challenges that that I've heard from purpose-driven entrepreneurs in the community is the stress, and especially with everything that is happening in the world, we're experiencing more stress and more on a continual basis, because stress in and of itself is not necessarily a problem. We need stress. That's how our body operates, but it's the continuous stress that's going to become a problem. So for those that are watching and thinking, I'm in that situation, I feel stressed most of the time, what can they do from a voice confidence perspective?
Okay, so there's a couple of things. And firstly, yeah, I mean, if there wasn't stress, I'd never get anything done.
We need that tension, ladies and gentlemen. We need it.
You need the tension. I am a lady who works much better under a tight deadline. Yeah. So there's two elements of this. There's firstly the stress of speaking. So if you're someone who gets stressed about doing something like this, maybe, or back in the real world, going networking, or raising your hand at a conference and asking that question, you know, that annoying thing when the speaker on stage says, oh, any questions? And you've got a question, but you're like, oh, I don't want to raise my hand. Yeah. So there's that element of it. And then there's a way you can use the voice, which also, and actually it's the same similar exercise, which can just reduce stress in the moment. So any kind of stress, you know, when you, for me particularly, when your technology is going wrong and you're sat there going, but I put the right instructions in, and your head is going. So in those moments, ladies and gents, I encourage you to take a breath, because breath is the center of all meditation, and stress reduction is the number one thing you can do.
Yep.
And the simplest voice exercise, it's a sound healing exercise, is I invite you to place your hand on your chest when you do this, because it helps you feel the change in vibration, the change in energy in your body. And close your eyes. So you've got your head going, oh my gosh, or worrying about something, or whatever's going 10 million to the dozen. And you breathe. And exhale through your mouth. And breathe in through your nose. And then let the next exhalation be a hum. And just play with that hum. There's no right or wrong note. But where you're trying to hum, you want to send the hum into your heart, into your chest. And ideally, you want to start feeling a vibration in your upper chest. Now, for some people, you might be so stressed that you don't. You might feel the vibration in your nose, in your lips, in the back of your neck. Wherever you're feeling it, just lower the tone of your hum until you maybe lower it from here to here. Or you can lower it from here to your neck. But the lower notes and a slower pace will bring you out of your head, back into your body, and slow things down. That's like, I call it my 15-second stress reducer.
Yeah.
Because 3 hums like that, and then you breathe out, and then you breathe in again, and it physically changes the vibration within you. It slows everything down and brings you out of your head back into your body. So then you can come, okay. Because the most important thing when we're stressed is to be able to detach from the emotion.
Yeah.
That's the most important thing, really, for being able to be in a confident place with your voice. Is being detached from any fear emotion.
Cool.
So that you can connect to your deepest truth and your all-important higher purpose or mission or whatever you want to call it. So that's a really simple stress reducer. If you want to take it another step further, you can voice that breath. So lots of people have heard about primal screaming. It's a great way of reducing stress. If you want to get a pillow and scream into a pillow, that's a great way of reducing everyday stress. Or the simplest thing, I have a really lovely grounding sound. So I work with the chakra energies. And the grounding sound is a low note, whatever it is, whatever low means for you. And I normally do it standing nice and tall with my hands sort of pointing downwards towards the earth, like my fingers are sending or drawing energy up from, so like this.
Yeah. Okay.
So that your fingers are either sending your stress into the earth, so you're going, I don't want it, send it into the earth, or you're drawing energy from the earth, and you can draw strength and stability from the earth. And that note, that sound on any note, whatever the low note is for you, and never force the tones. That sound is ho. So you go ho, ho. And it's a really grounding sound. It's also quite a good one if you're a little bit angry, and you can go ho, rah. You can turn it into a roar. Rah.
Yeah.
And then breathe and sigh, and then come back to your heart and try the hum or the heart sound, which is ha, ha. But the hum, even if you're saying hum, that's the restful. So those are some sounds that you can make. That's how you can use your voice, because your voice is a reflection of every emotion that you've ever had or witnessed or imagined. So every emotion or experience. So they're all built up in your body. And when we're in a situation, very often it's not that situation we're frustrated with. Right? So when I'm frustrated with tech, I know that a part of me, I have a very clear image, a part of me is, what that really is 10-year-old me, 10 or 11-year-old me, in the last year of middle school, sat at home trying to do my homework. It was 9:30 at night. I was in tears because maths and that stuff just never came easily to me. And my mum coming in going, you're not doing that homework. I'm writing a letter to your teacher. I'm not having you in this state. So I know when I get frustrated with tech, yes, it's that frustration in the moment, but there's a part of me that is 11-year-old me, just so frustrated because I can't get it and I don't do it, and I'm going to get in trouble because I haven't done my homework.
Yeah.
Because your cell memory holds on to everything. So when you can release it through sound, you are releasing in the moment, but you're also helping yourself to release the past stuff too.
And the last part that I want to go into, because we said we would talk about stress reduction at one hand, because that's the challenge that we've heard from the community. Another one is, how can I boost my confidence using voice or sound healing? Can you share an exercise that people can do that to give their confidence a little boost?
Yes. So, for example, if you're about to go and talk, or if you don't, let's just take it very simply. If you don't like your voice.
Yeah.
Lots of people don't like speaking because they don't like their voice. The first thing to do is do the humming exercise. Do the humming and just get used to hearing your voice. So do the humming daily and play with the hum. So that this is the exercise, because it helps shift and expand your voice, is you do a siren. So so you go lower than you'd normally go, and you go higher than you normally go. And if what you don't like about your voice is you think your voice is too light, maybe, or too high. Lots of women don't like, they say, oh, my voice is too light or too high. I want to have more gravitas. So then play with the lower. You can imagine that you're a Harley Davidson. This is what I tell you. Imagine you're a Harley Davidson revving outside the house. Like, and by playing with your voice like that, you get used to hearing yourself, but you also start opening up your lower register. Or if you're someone who feels that there's not enough brightness in your voice, there's not enough lightness, imagine that your voice is an annoying little pizza delivery Vespa, right?
Yeah.
and play with those higher tones. Now, if you're doing this just before you go into an interview, like it's happening to me in Loubna right now, you'll probably find yourself laughing a little bit. And that's a really good energy to go into something with.
Yeah.
It helps you go into that energy, not being in fear, but being in like, oh, okay, that was a little bit silly. The next step from that exercise to get more comfortable with hearing your voice is to go from the hum into an open sound. So you go into ma, and then you can do the siren with the ah. Now this is more challenging for people, and you might notice that when you go from the hum to the ah, ma, this is what you want. You want the note to stay the same. Ma, 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 ma. It's just mechanical. Nothing happens. What happens for most people is this. Ma. As soon as you open your mouth, the subconscious brain goes, no, I'm going to be heard, and I don't like my voice, and other people might not like my voice. And all the tension comes in, and the note changes. Usually it drops, it goes higher. So
Yeah.
then you're in a point of going, okay, well, I'm aware that this is a challenge for me. So I'm just going to try this note, this tone, until I feel comfortable and until I notice there's no change in note, no change in tone. And then you'll have made a really big step because there'll have been emotions. Now you might find your throat gets tight, or you feel frustration or anger, or you get teary, or you start laughing nervously. And they're all responses from your subconscious brain and your cell memory saying, no, 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 it's not safe, because you're holding on to those emotions and experiences from the past. So these are the exercises. Do the humming, do the siren hum, and then you move on to the next step, which is the opening, ma, ma. So you get more confident hearing your voice. The other tips I want to give you are this, and these are more mindset tips. So have a deepest truth, right? We're talking to entrepreneurs. So when you're speaking, let's talk about your business. Have a deepest truth for your business, whatever that is. Mine is, when you liberate your voice, you liberate your life. Full stop, end of story, unequivocal. This is true. And you need to know yours with that much certainty.
Yeah.
And have a higher purpose. It's up here. Your higher purpose, so your deepest truth sits right down in your hips, in your pelvis, in your gut. Your higher purpose sits up here, and this is the thing that is bigger than you. It might be your vision, your mission, which Loubna and I learned as phrases in another group. Your big why, some people call it. Mine is, I am building a community and I'm having a positive impact on more than 100 million people by creating more confident, connected communicators. And when I'm connected to that, it's like, it's not about me. So when you're speaking, it's not about you.
No.
It's about the people who you're going to serve and the people whose lives they will impact. So if you can find that something bigger, connect that to your deepest truth, they come together here in your heart. And when you share your voice from your heart, that's when you create the resonance physically in your voice and energetically that people pick up on. And they start going, oh, okay. So even if you're scared, even if you're humiliated, like I was thinking, oh, if I'm talking about voice vibration, sound and chakra healing and chakra energies, and what about the professionals who might think, oh, that's a bit woo for us? And it's like, I get rid of all of those fears, because actually I know it's true. I change my language sometimes. If I'm in a corporate conversation, I change my language, but not the energy and not the work.
No.
So
yeah, I love that. I really love that. And I remember one of the challenges that I had was I didn't like my voice. And I used a specific example with you, Judith, that I said, I never look at videos that I've done because I don't like my voice on videos. And I still remember to this day what you said to me, that's not your real voice. So why are you bothered? And I'm like, what a relief. Now I can watch knowing it's not my real voice. Thank God, because the very first time that I did, I thought, oh my God, why did you do that? Oh, that is no, you shouldn't be talking like that. I was very critical of myself at that video. But ever since you've said that, I can watch a video and think it's not my voice. This is not my real voice.
And an electronic version of your voice. I mean, it's similar to your voice, yes, but the voice naturally changes through the electronics. And also, we hear ourselves differently to how other people hear ourselves. So, yes, I mean, if you're someone who's got, I don't know, a particularly nasal voice, and you particularly do speak through your nose, then you're not going to be able to change that. Like that, if that's how you're going, oh my God, I come across really nasal on video. It's like, well, you probably are quite nasal in life as well.
Yeah.
And that's not a bad thing or a good thing. I'm just picked that. But if you don't like it, or if you find that it's getting in the way, there are ways of shifting your voice. And when you release the emotional stuff, your voice changes because it's no longer in the tension of the emotions. So really, to find your truest, most confident voice, you need to do the deep emotional stuff. And that's where my combination of work comes in, because it's both the technical, like 20 years as an actor, articulation, projection, posture, pace, pitch, all of that. But also it's the emotional. It's let's release the fears, the worries of what you think other people are thinking of you, the experiences you either had, witnessed, or imagined in your past, or that you're imagining for the future. That's the stuff where actually your voice will then drop in tone. If you think that, my voice is a bit high pitched, and that's not just the computer, that's, that might just be where your voice is. And if you don't like that, or if you feel it's not appropriate for some situation, then it can be shifted. But that needs the emotional work.
Cool. Well, Judith, I know for a fact that you and I can keep this conversation going for the next several hours, but I am mindful that we spend a lot of time behind screens. So my intention for the Expert Series is to do short, sweet, and actionable tips for you that is watching this right now. So as we wrap up, if people are watching this and thinking, I want me some more Judith, how can they connect with you the most effective way?
My website, which is yourwholevoice.com, and I'm sure Loubna will put that somewhere for you guys. So whole as in the whole world, the whole of you, yourwholevoice.com. I have a connection call that you can sign up for there. It's a 20-minute connection call. It's not a heavy sales call. That's not my style. Or, if oh my God, I want to do something, then the next thing I've got coming up is a 2-day workshop at the end of April, and it's online. So wherever you are, I've already got 2 people from America signed up. 23rd and 24th of April, and the early bird tickets are available for that now. So if you're going, I want some of this. But yeah, yourwholevoice.com, or all my social media is at yourwholevoice.
So, having gone through some of Judith's work, I wholeheartedly recommend checking her out. So this is Expert Series for today. Thank you for watching, and I know this has been of value to you. And I hope you're having an amazing day wherever you are in the world. And I'm looking forward to seeing you on the next video.
Yay. Thank you for being here, those of you who are here live, and thank you for watching the recording.
Bye.